UFC Saudi Arabia, and I am back. Young Pasty. After a week off, we got UFC again, and I'm super excited to break down every single fight on this card. We got a prediction, and we got a pick for every fight. Let's go. Last week, UFC 311, we went 7-5. Okay, look, a couple of underdogs didn't come through. A couple of heavy favorites sold. Look, at the end of the day, more right than wrong. Better than the first week, so let's get to it. We're going to improve and do even better on this card right here. Before we begin the picks and predictions, though, do the thing for the algorithm, please. Subscribe, like, comment, share. The support goes a long way. I appreciate it. Now, let's get to it, guys. UFC Saudi Arabia, the main event. Israel Adesanya, the last style bender, versus Nassourdine Imavov, the sniper. We got minus 180 for Izzy, plus 150 for Imavov. Great fight. My pick, we're going with Izzy. We're going with the former champ here. Now, my reasoning for it: reach advantage, cardio advantage, championship experience. People sleep on his power too. Okay, he's slept a lot of people. And Imavov calls himself the sniper, but let's be real. Izzy's a sniper. Now, when it comes to terms and overall power, I do give that to Imavov. And when it comes to terms to boxing, I also give that to Imavov. But Izzy will use his reach to his advantage. He'll be circling the octagon. Imavov's gas tank to me is suspect. Okay? And yeah, he's on a 3-fight win streak. Okay? Great win over Brendan Allen. Good win over Jared Cannonier. Early stoppage, though. Would have won the fight regardless, but still. And then a decision win over Delidze. So these are solid wins, but keep in mind, he lost to the former champ, Sean Strickland. No contest against Chris Curtis. We, probably would have won that fight, but didn't get to see it all the way through. And Izzy's losses are just championship losses, okay? Lost to Alex Pereira, got it right back. Wash. Lost to Sean Strickland, surprising, but took the L at the end of the day. Another surprising one, too. Lost to DDP. People are saying Izzy's washed. I mean, do we really think Izzy is washed at this point? Come on now. I think that's a little outlandish to say. Okay, his losses are championship losses. He redeemed himself and won, right? And then lost to, some dogs, to be honest with you. But look, I think Imavov's run up the rankings stops here. He's going to meet the former champion Adesanya. He needs this win, okay? Because if he loses here, he's going to drop down in the rankings big time. Big time, in my opinion. Right? So, great fight at the end of the day. But I think Izzy pulls out the decision win. I don't think he's going to get a knockout over Imavov. If he does, it'll be maybe kind of a 5th-round knockout. But my mind and my play is Izzy by decision. What do the Tapology folks say? Well, 2,654 votes. Yep, Izzy by decision is the biggest here. Izzy by KO. I can see that happening at the end of these rounds, but man, that reach advantage is not doing any favors to Imavov. So we move on to our next fight here, our co-main event. And look at our boy. We got Shara Magomedov, Shara Bullet, versus Michael Venom Page, MVP. Odds on the fight, minus 185 for my boy Shara Bullet, plus 155 for Michael Venom Page. My pick for the fight is going to be Shara Bullet. All right, he's an OV. Okay, we're over in Saudi Arabia. He's got that bias. I'd almost call it a hometown advantage. Okay? And I think he's more powerful than Michael Venom Page. Look, my MVP is unorthodox. He's crazy. He fights super weird. He got bodied by Ian Gary. That won't happen here. Shara Bullet's more of a striker, in my opinion. And uses his fucking leg kicks, his jabs. It's nuts. But he can strike too. And this is a step up in competition. This will really prove if he's the real deal to me. Right? Because his wins in the UFC, they're wins. But come on now. Bruno Silva, Antonio Tricoli, Michael Olabum, Armin Petrosian. Okay. But I mean, these are 3 bums right here. Okay, they gave him 3 people to fucking go and beat up. This Michael Olabum really was telling people he wanted to quit fighting after this last fight. So it's just he's fighting some bums here. Armin Petrosian, okay, some better competition, but now you're going up against a former, champion in a different league who came over to the UFC, surprised everybody, and beating Kevin Holland, at least surprised me. But yeah, I got bodied by Ian Gary, which I saw coming by a mile. But I mean, in a way, these guys are both unorthodox, right? Michael Venom Page just kind of fights just crazy and weird. And we'll see if Shara Bullet matches it. I think he can keep his composure, be more technical with it, and pick and choose his strikes and ultimately crank out the decision win here. I think Shara Bullet gets the decision. I don't think he's getting a knockout. It'd be nuts. But yeah, we got Shara Bullet by decision. What do we got here? The Tapology folks. Oh, and keep in mind, 37 years old, MVP. Shara Bullet, 7 years younger. Usually the, younger fighter cranks out the win here. Wow, surprise to me. Okay. Out of all the votes, people are picking MVP to win by decision. Okay, that's crazy to me. But my pick for the fight's going to be the favorite, Shara Bullet. And we move on to the next fight here. Okay, close the X. I don't give a shit about you. Oh boy, we got some heavyweights here. Sergei Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik, the biggie boy. Okay. What do we got for odds? Minus 300 favorite for Pavlovich. Whew. Plus 240 for Rozenstruik. Wow. Okay, good heavyweight fight. Solid heavyweight fight. Redemption fight for Pavlovich, who, lost to the champ and then lost to a redeemed Volkov. So, can he get back on track here? I believe he does. Pavlovich is the pick here. Look, power and quickness, we're going to give it to Pavlovich. Is Rozenstruik going to do any sort of wrestling? No, these guys are just going to bang. Okay, these guys are just going to bang. Throw down with the fists, okay? Just to make that clear, guys. But yeah, man, Sergei's got heavy hands, okay? He's got a crazy reach advantage, too. My God, 6 inches? Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that just makes it even worse for Jairzinho. Can he close the distance? I don't believe so. Man, Sergei by knockout all day. Pretty confident in that. Jairzinho does have a couple wins under his belt here in the last year. Okay, he beat Shamil, who's coming up next. And then, he beat a Tai Tuivasa by split, keep in mind, who, come on now. I don't know, I think that was one of those judges that got fired, by the way. That shouldn't be a split, because he beat the shit out of him. Anyway. Sergei Pavlovich by knockout. What does the community say? Oh, boy. They agree. It's a heavyweight fight, though, right? Anything can happen in that freaking octagon. Can Jairzinho, pull out a knockout or, a decision win if he, keeps his distance and picks his shots? Of course he could. But that won't happen. Okay? Let's just make that clear here. That will not happen. We got Sergei Pavlovich by knockout. Let's go. Next fight. A great fight in my opinion here. We got Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Lock dog. Minus 185 for Said. Plus 150 for Oliveira. This pick kills me. I'm going to pick Said Nurmagomedov. And it kills me because I'm a fan of Vinicius. My dude is a fucking dog. He is a killer. He looks great out in that octagon. But when it comes to a Dagestani wrestler, I can't do it, man. Yeah, you're from Brazil. Yeah, you have wrestling. But not like that. Okay? These guys are different. His only loss coming in a decision loss against Jonathan Martinez. And look, if you put Jonathan Martinez and Vinicius and Oliveira in a fight, it's going to be a great fight, but Martinez is going to pull that out as well. Okay, let's be real. At this point in this guy's career, man, this is too tough. I think Vinicius has the kickboxing and striking advantage. Said can strike as well and hang in there, but he's using it to get this shit to the mat. Let's be real, okay? Said's a wrestler. He's not in there trying to strike with this guy. He wants ground control, ground and pound. That's his method, man. And submissions as well, okay? Don't sleep on that too. Man, I could see that coming in like the third round. Third round submission by Said. I don't know. Oliveira to me is a dog. I think he can stick in there with Said for the whole 3 rounds. So we got Nurmagomedov by decision. Tough for me to go against Vinicius. He's gonna do great things in the UFC. Undefeated in the UFC. Keep in mind here. All right, made his way on Contender Series and is fighting consistently. So don't sleep on this guy and look out for his next fight. But quick rise in competition. It's going to be too tough for him to knock this one out. Again, to me, I don't think he's going to sub him. I think he can handle his own on the ground, but Nurmagomedov by decision. What do the folks say down here? They agree with me. Nurmagomedov by decision. Sub is live as well. The people picking Oliveira, 40.6 by knockout. I could see that. Nurmagomedov could get chinned, okay? I wouldn't say he's chinny, but he could get chinned. You never fucking know. Going in for that, double hook takedown. Never know. Nurmagomedov by decision. We move on. Damn, they loaded up this main card. This is nice. We got Ziam, the Smile Killer. I didn't know that was his nickname. Versus Mike Davis, Beast Boy. Odds on the fight, plus 120 for Ziam, minus 140 for Mike Davis. Good fight, too. Man, this is another great fight. My pick for the fight is going to be Mike Davis. We're going to go with the slight favorite. Tough because Ziam put on a great performance in his last fight, but looking back at the competition and performances that he's put on, and now he's going up against a Mike Davis. Okay, yeah, you knocked out Matt Frivola, who, is a wild man, but is he the greatest in the UFC? Not really. Claudio Pelez, you beat him by decision. Now, this is a great win that's aged very well. Beat Jai Herbert by a unanimous decision. So I'll give him credit there. Michael Figlak, and then you lose to Terrence McKinney. So, he's susceptible to getting subbed for sure. Now, Mike Davis, on the other hand, Natan Levy, meh. Borshev, okay, going up, and beating a, wrestling heavy Russian. I'll take it. Mason Jones, meh. Thomas Gifford, meh. As you can see, his introduction to the UFC was Gilbert Burns. That's a tough intro fight. So, granted, he's been inactive during this time. He had a fight 10 months ago and then a year before that. Ziam is much more active. I will give him that. But look, Mike Davis has got power. My dude's strong. Ziam is tough. Can he knock people out? Yeah, but most of the punches he's throwing are like point punches, little pitter-patter punches. His knockout against Frivola was a knee. And his only knockout in the last 3 years, 2-3 years in the UFC. Mike Davis is more tough. Okay? He's the favorite for a reason. He's going to get this shit taken care of, man. Mike Davis all day. By sub. By sub. I see it coming. Wow. This has surprised me. The community's got Ziam by decision. I don't know, man. I think Mike Davis is live for sub. I'm in this little category here with with a few people, so we'll see who gets it done. But Mike Davis, solid, confident pick. We move on to the next fight. Still on the main card. Okay, this is our first fight on the main card. We got Muhammad Naimov, Hillman, must live up in the hills, versus Kaan, Ofli, Genghis. No idea what that means. Odds on the fight, minus 260 for Muhammad, plus 210 for Ofli. Okay, to me, I thought these odds would be bigger. My pick for the fight's going to be Muhammad Naimov. I thought this dude would be minus 500, minus 600, so minus 260. That's a great number to see this guy at, to be honest with you. People are going to give him grief for losing to a Felipe Lima, who shocked the world and beaten Naimov and has gone on to keep winning in the UFC. Just beat Miles Johns. So I'm not going to knock him for that loss. And he has some good wins, man. Okay, Jamie Malarkey, everyone beats him. That's his first fight in the UFC. Nathaniel Wood, great freaking win there. Eric Silva, okay. But my dude's fighting out of Denver. He's fighting with what, Elevation Fight Team? Yes, sir. He's fighting with the Elevation Fight Team, so he has cardio. He's got great striking. Okay? And we're going to... come on now. This guy just lost in Dana White Contender Series and bounced around from, promotion to promotion for the last 3 years. Now he's in the UFC fighting a Naimov who's coming off a loss, who's hungry and wants to redeem himself and has beat good competition. Like, what's going on here with these odds? And he's from, Tajikistan. So, bias, hometown hero. I mean, he's in Saudi, so them Saudis love those OVs here. So I'm not going to go against the grain. Muhammad Naimov by KO. Hey, here we are. Few and far are picking Ofli. I don't know. Must be these people from Australia and Turkey here. Dude, this guy's getting chinned for sure. Welcome to the UFC with another loss. I don't know how you got signed. We move on to the prelims. Our featured prelim here. A banger. A great heavyweight fight, in my opinion. We got Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Petersen. Thomas the Train Petersen. Okay, odds on the fight. Minus 400 for Shamil. Plus 300 for the Train. I kind of just said it before. I'm not going to go against the grain here. My pick for the fight is going to be Shamil Gaziev. We're going with the heavy favorite. Yeah, he took an L to Jairzinho, but look, lessons learned and a wake-up call in the UFC because maybe he was getting a little cocky, right? Got to win on the Contender Series, got his first, UFC win. He's riding high, 13-0. Gets a wake-up call and gets his first loss to Jairzinho. Makes it up, though, with a unanimous decision over Dante Almeida. So he's past these levels in the UFC. He at least went 4 rounds with Jairzinho. He put up a fight. Did he win? No. He did not win. But he will win here. Now, should win, right? I'm a little concerned for Shamil because I was running back this fight here with Thomas Petersen with the Usman fight. Now look, he lost to Jamal Pogues. Bad look. But unanimous decision in the last year or so. I mean, not a good look, Mr. Petersen. Another Contender Series alum. But man, he really made up for it and looked great in this last fight here. He's a little more on the tubby side, right? But he used that to his advantage. He's got power, man. People sleep on this guy's power. The train can rock some power. Like if Shamil gets knocked out, I really wouldn't be surprised at all. But Gaziev has a clear wrestling advantage, in my opinion, with this fight. Does he use that or not? Maybe. Clinch work on the fence. Can he use that? Should he use that? Might and maybe. I think he'll try and strike with him first. But if Petersen gets a good, look in, good little strike in, he'll probably get a wake-up call and be like, oh, I really don't want to strike with this guy. So we'll see what his path to victory is, but I do believe Gaziev is going to win. I could see him, live for the sub. Let's see what we got down here in Tapology and what they say. By knockout. 93% is nuts. No one's picking Petersen. They're sleeping on him heavy, dude. And if only 7% of the community's, picking Petersen, why is he only a plus 300? You know what I mean? The books know something here. People are just going to be throwing Gaziev into a parlays like it's nothing. I would proceed with caution. My pick is Gaziev, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas knocks out Gaziev. Not one bit. We move on. What do we got? Next fight here. Well, shit, that's going to be easy. We got Terrence McKinney, T-Rex, versus Damir Hadzovic, the Bosnian bomber. Minus 350 for McKinney, plus 275 for Hadzovic. My pick for this fight is going to be Terrence McKinney. Look, if he loses this fight, I will never pick him again. Okay? Going up against a 38-year-old, okay, who's losing to the people that he should and beating some bums, okay? You have a couple of okay wins in the past couple years, but, your losses don't look great, Terrence. I think they're giving him a layup here. Take the layup, T-Rex, okay? I think he gets it done by sub. Terrence McKinney all day. Look at the reach advantage, a little bit of a reach advantage. Younger fighter in 8 years. Terrence McKinney isn't this flashy striker, but he can use his footwork and striking and moves to get Damir to the ground. And again, I think he's live for the sub. McKinney by sub, first or second round. Give it to me all day. If you screw me and lose, McKinney, you're going on the ban list, and I will never pick you again, no matter who you go up against. McKinney by KO is what everyone's picking here. I'm in this little category by sub. I think he gets it done by sub. Little club and sub, man. Easy. Easy work here, McKinney. Okay? Take your layup from the UFC. You have a good name. You have some nice wins. They want to get you back on track, so don't fuck it up. Next fight. Good women's fight. Okay, we got Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Shitara. Odds on the fight, minus 225 for Jasmine, plus 185 for Mayra Bueno Silva. My pick for the fight is going to be Jasmine Jasudavicius for now. Okay, because I need to see how these weigh-ins go. Mayra Bueno Silva has always fought at bantamweight. This is going to be her first fight at flyweight, okay? Jasmine's staying at flyweight, been fighting at flyweight, but we got Mayra here going to her first flyweight fight, and I don't know what the strategy is behind that. She gasses out all the time, at least in her past 3 fights. After the second, third round, this bitch is so damn tired. I mean, gosh, how did she even make it 5 rounds with Raquel? I don't know. She was just holding on for dear life. It was kind of embarrassing. Because her path to victory in all her fights is by sub, right? A quick submission in the first or second round. She thinks she can just handle these girls and get it done. I don't think Jasmine's going to leave herself that susceptible to that. I think, oh man, it's tough. If Mayra Bueno Silva looks good on the scales, right? Has no issues, and comes out and performs like how she's supposed to, she's a good dog play. That's why I say I'm picking Jasmine for now. Because, look, I anticipate her to look like crap on the scales. And you know what that indicates for me? Even more cardio issues in the octagon coming up. So, Jasmine's a much better striker than Mayra. Mayra does have the wrestling advantage. So, that's there. That's her path to victory always. Ah, man, temporary pick's going to be Jasmine. Gotta hold off on the official pick for this one because I gotta see the weigh-ins. I'm really mixed at the moment, but we're picking Jasmine at the moment. This is the only women's fight. Okay. Next fight here, we got Bogdan Grad, the Unleashed, versus Lucas Alexander, the Lion. Minus 125 for Bogdan and plus 105 for Lucas Alexander. My pick for this fight is going to be Bogdan Grad. This dude's hungry, okay? He wants to be in the UFC. He wants to be a UFC fighter. I don't know about this Lucas Alexander guy, okay? I just feel like they picked this dude up off the street to fight, to give this guy, a fight because they gave him a contract out Dana White Contender Series. So, you are 8-4. You are 8-4. That's not a good look, and not a good record for UFC. You lost to Jekka Saragi, who sucks. He's a bum. Beat a Steven Petersen. Kaan. Lost to Joanderson Brito. That's a tough way to come into the UFC. I'd like to give him a pass for that, but you still lost. And then you have some wins with, in some other organization years ago. Now you're fighting in the UFC. Probably going to be your last fight in the UFC, unless you pull out a flashy win here. But Bogdan from Austria, gonna get this taken care of, man. Okay, no doubt in my mind. He's hungry. He's a fighter. He's a dog. Strong as shit. Strong as shit. Could get it. KO? Yeah. It's happening. He has elusive striking. I like it a lot. So, uses his leg kicks very nicely. Bogdan by KO. What do we got down here? Grad by decision. Nah, KO all day. He's going to get it done either way. He's going to beat up on this guy. And Lucas is going to be on his way out. 8-5 will look really pretty, pretty bad. So, one more fight. Another heavyweight fight. And look, this is a great way to start off the fight card here. Heavyweights going at it. Whatever the round prop is, bet the under, okay? We got Hamdy Abdulwahab, the Hammer, versus Jamal Pogues, the Stormtrooper. We got to pick them here, minus 110 on each side, which is crazy to me. And I think it's going to get bet in, in favor of my pick here. We got Hamdy. Okay? Yeah, he had a no contest, but that was after the fact, and he did beat Don'Tale Mayes by split. He looked pretty good. He exposed Don'Tale Mayes' awful wrestling. And that'll also happen to Jamal Pogues, who lost to a Mick Parson by decision, who, again, got exposed with his bad wrestling. And man, if for some reason Hamdy can't, use that path to victory in any of the rounds, he's live by KO for sure. I can see Jamal Pogues letting his guard down after he's gotten tired, after he's, put out what he can. Hamdy's a tough dude and throws some bombs, okay? He's called the Hammer for the reason, because he knocks motherfuckers out. We got Hamdy to start the card off by KO. I'm sorry, Jamal, but don't let this record fool you, and this last 5 fool you. He's fighting bums, man, off the Contender Series. Oh, you beat Josh Parison, he's a bum. You lost to Mick Parkin, who's actually competition. Oh, you beat Thomas Petersen, you beat the Train. Unranked heavyweight. You're ranked 55 in the world, about to go even lower. So we got Hamdy by KO. What does the world think? Hamdy by decision? That could happen too with that wrestling. But he's live for the knockout for sure. Hamdy all fucking day. And wow, look at that, y'all. That's all the fights. That's all the fights for UFC Saudi Arabia. UFC Saudi Arabia. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Support goes a long way. We're getting to it this card, okay? We are going to freaking kill it. Let's go, guys. Young Pasty. Out.